Hi, my name is Bruce Borowsky. I'm a documentary filmmaker. In my spare time, I also run a company called Boulder Digital Arts with my partner Zach Daudert. We've had a lot of people ask us how we got Boulder Digital Arts started, so I thought this Pecha Kucha night was a great way to finally tell the story. I've been a photographer ever since I was a little kid. I was even the photographer at my own bar mitzvah. In college, I was a senior in criminal law, ready to go to law school, when I realized I hated it and changed my major to photography, so I had to go another 2 years. Zach grew up in Greeley, and as a young child spent much of his free time starting a variety of different businesses in his parents' basement. There were several hospitals, some cruise ships, and then, strangely enough, a couple of tropical-themed bars. After college, I had an amazing job as the photographer for the city of Miami Beach. I hated the heat though, so after a year I moved to San Francisco. It was there I got involved in public access TV and helping people with their TV series. While getting my master's degree, I was very lucky to land the job as an assistant to a well-known National Geographic photographer named Galen Rowell. He had a profound effect on my own photography, as well as introducing me to rock climbing. Meanwhile, Zach was producing a half-hour TV series of sketch comedy for public access TV in Greeley. For reasons I still don't know, he was literally banned from Radio Shack until he was 18, after being threatened with a libel lawsuit, so he had to ask strangers in the mall to purchase all his video gear. I moved to Boulder in 1990 and started working at Photocraft, and quickly got involved in public access TV here. I couldn't believe that nobody was producing a TV series on rock climbing, so I started producing one on the Boulder Public Access TV channel. Within a year, it got picked up by the national network The Outdoor Channel. I was very lucky to be able to travel all over the world and film amazing climbers and mountaineers. In the mid-90s, the city of Boulder put together a task force to try to help public access, since it was pretty run down and using old equipment. I was selected to be one of the 12 members, along with Brad Gilbert, the owner of People Productions. Though Zach was trying very hard to get hired at People Productions, he did get hired at Garkey Audiovisual, but he hated that job, so as fate would have it, he accidentally wrecked their brand new van delivering some AV gear in Denver, and they fired him. They said, "It's just not working out," and he couldn't have agreed more. Meanwhile, our task force created a state-of-the-art public access facility called CATV 54, which opened in 1996 and was very popular. Boulder citizens had access to great equipment for free and could broadcast their shows about anything to the whole city for free. After Zach and I met, we started talking about doing a public access TV show together. We thought a show about beer would be great. As it happened though, I decided to move to Paris to be with an old girlfriend. Meanwhile, Zach finally got hired at People Productions. Well, the girl in Paris turned out to be just as crazy as she was before, so I came back to Boulder. Turns out the new public access leadership was running it into the ground, and Zach and I couldn't believe that they still weren't offering cool classes and workshops in this new digital age. Meanwhile, I got hired at People Productions too. We realized there was a huge potential for low-cost classes taught by some of the amazing creative people here in Boulder. We came up with a name, and before I knew it, Zach had already made a logo, and we started planning our first event. We had over 120 people come on February 24th, 2004 to our Final Cut Pro Tips and Tricks launch party. Zach had designed an awesome website, and it was very exciting to see people, one by one, start signing up for our classes and mailing list. We wanted to offer classes that were professional and high quality, but that people could actually afford. We started with just 6 or so classes a month at places like the Train Depot and a filmmaker's warehouse studio. As Zach and I carried the coolers of sodas and waters and ice and snacks to each class, we joked about being the BDA catering company. After a year or so, we finally moved into a small space of our very own. It was such a luxury not to have to set up from scratch every time. We used some of the money coming in to buy a handful of new Mac workstations so we could start offering hands-on classes. We also started holding our digital salons at BMocha every few months, with great guest artists talking about and demonstrating their work. Soon, BDA will be moving into a new 3,000 square foot facility where we'll be able to offer all sorts of new programs, as well as having office space available for digital artists. Meanwhile, Zach is enjoying living half the year in Panama. Besides all our classes and events, our new space is being designed to be a comfortable hangout for digital artists and creative professionals, so please come on down to check it out. Thanks for listening.